Hello, I'm Nathan Worthing. I'm the owner of Clark Professional Pharmacy in Ann Arbor. One of the big problems with noise, particularly coming from TVs that are on out in the waiting rooms or piped in music that's coming in over the PA system, is that it causes a lot of distraction. And so in our pharmacy we have maybe 3 or 4 telephone calls going on at one time, with additional conversations going on with different people at the same time, and then patients at the counter that are asking questions. So there's always this influx of noise, and what I have found is that having this extra layer of noise is just extremely distracting and actually potentially causes patient harm, or writing things down incorrectly or not finishing through with orders. I've just opted not to have any of those kinds of ancillary noise sources, particularly the piped-in music and the TVs on all the time, because of that reason. One of the stories that really gravitated me towards this subject, about maybe 15 years ago or so, I was working at another store. This is one of the chain retail stores, and I was writing a prescription over the telephone. So the physician was called and was giving me this detailed order, and he stopped in the middle of his order and he said, did you get what I said? And I said, oh yes, I got it. He said, well, I couldn't tell because the music was coming through the phone, and he said the music was so loud that I couldn't tell if I was listening to you or if you were listening to the music. And I was so embarrassed, and unfortunately in the corporate structure, I couldn't just go turn down the music because it was supposed to be at that level. But that was kind of just a real eye opener too, that people can hear these things through the phone or leave with that bad impression. It's not very often, but on occasion I will have patients that will notice that it's quiet, and oddly enough, I find that people, at least our clientele, tend to stay in the store a little bit longer if they don't feel like they're running out for quietness. But I do actually get some feedback about the quietness. But I think that there's so many businesses that pump it in all the time that people don't expect it not to be loud. So it's very interesting when they do mention it. It kind of gave my impression as a pharmacist working in kind of already a low-grade, noisy type of setting, not like a factory noise, but there's just lots of noise going on in a pharmacy setting. But I think as a patron to other businesses, when I'm in stores that are just piping music every step of the way, I find that I get very exhausted and that I just really need to leave sooner, and I just find that the whole experience is just too overwhelming. I think we're really in an area where we're just being constantly stimulated in this day and age. Every place that you go, and anytime you can find a quiet space, it's always really of value.